Yahar. There be some interesting action out there on the open seas with the old Damian Lillard orca. Seems to be stirring some things up. Boots on the gram, having a classic Will Smith playing in the background. Yar. We be seeing you, Dame Dollar. We be seeing what you've been trying to say out there. Very interesting, dude. Very interesting with Dame Doll out here today, So, if you haven't seen it by now, I'll throw it up here so you guys could check it out. I can't with the music on there. I don't want to get ripped. But Damian Lillard, he's IG living, which he will do from time to time. And I don't know what he's. I think the last we all checked in, Damian Lillard was in Paris, I think. So I think he's in Paris. I don't know. He's world traveling out there. He's enjoying his life as a gazillionaire should do. And in the midst of his Instagram live playing, I don't know if it was by his request. I don't know if the DJ's messing with him. I don't know if it was his family, his friends, who made the move. But in the background, Will Smith's, of course, classic Miami, which is like for 30 years has lasted as the anthem for this city, even though I swear, like anytime I do a radio read, they're always playing Will Smith's Miami. Always. And Damian Lillard has that playing on his Instagram live. Nyahar. You play interesting games there, Dame Dollar, and I have to say I respect it. Nyar. Because here's the thing. Everyone's going to be, I've seen a couple camps on this, okay? A lot of people think, oh, Dame's just trolling. Dame's just having a good time. Dame's people are trolling. Maybe, but who are they trolling in this case? Is this they just want to mess with Heat fans because it just makes them feel good to mess with Heat fans? I don't know. Maybe that is. I can't rule that out, okay? I can't rule that out. Maybe they're just having a good time, having a hoot. But, could also be that they're trolling the Blazers front office. Could also be that they're, trying to just put it out there that they're not happy. I definitely don't think it's let's just put it like this. I definitely don't think it's out there by accident. Dame's just not sitting there all innocent, and he's just all of a sudden it's just like, oh, Miami's playing? Oh, I didn't know. It was funny. It was a funny moment from him. Yar. Obviously didn't have anything happen on draft night. And they took Scoot Henderson. Although it was weird, though, dude, because, like, what's this dude's name? Cronin, who runs the Blazers. So, like, he had this thing where he was saying that he had talked to Dame on Tuesday. Had, like, a long talk with Damian Lillard. Meanwhile, Damian Lillard, you basically just say this is, like, a press release from his camp because Chris Haynes, very tied in, goes way backs with Dame Dollar. And he had this tweet even before Cronin's press conference that made it known that Dame has not had any talks with the front office about drafting and having talks with the office about trading, free agency. And so then this dude does this press conference. He goes, oh, well, I talked to him on Tuesday. Look, I don't know what recency is to you. I guess this was coming off the heels of Shams saying that they're going to take his input and try and impress him at the with whatever moves they can make, whatever they may be, maybe trading Anthony Simons. I don't know what they're going to go out there and try and do. But what we have here is like this is a classic case of two sides. Nobody wants to look bad. You have a franchise icon here. It's a slow parting. It's a slow parting. These things are awkward. I remember this with D Wade. God, did I hate that so much, that breakup. But different situations. D-Wade was a situation over money. But the slow breakup, it took time. It really didn't. It didn't go up until, it really went like all of the way up until the very end of it before he ends up going to Chicago. And, there was reports that there was like a frostiness between him and Pat. And then there was, on Snapchat, I believe his, I don't know, I think it was maybe his sons were playing Rihanna's "Bitch Better Have My Money" in the background. There was the ominous post of him and LeBron on a cruise while this is all going on, and there's all the subtweeting that was going on. That genuinely was. There was D Wade and his camp like playing with feelings, like playing with Heat fans' emotions, pitting the fan base up against the organization, and quite frankly, it worked because a lot of people were pissed that Pat Riley and Mickey Arison were nickel and diamond D Wade. Some people thought that he was, not worth it. There were some ingrates out there that were idiots and didn't want D Wade to get his dough. But it was a slow divorce that offseason. There was like, I think there was like a one last ditch effort, like where Mickey meets him on a yacht and they end up parting, right? But it was not this like easy breakup. And so this Damian Lillard thing, I don't expect it to be something that's like, oh, as soon as free agency hits or choose the draft. The fact that it hasn't happened yet is not very surprising. Like, I went last night to the Heat's facility just in case something crazy happened or because maybe you got to be on your toes. But, like, the fact that there's a little bit of political jockeying here and there's people trying to save face because there's feelings. Like, this is a guy, you're talking about an icon, beloved figure in a city. For a fan base, he's basically their Michael Jordan for a generation. And I just mean that like he's the most iconic guy they've had in a generation of basketball. So the fact that this is like hard and taking time is not surprising. But while this isn't a money issue, because Dame has his money, he's got his contract, so there's not a disrespect factor there. There is a respect factor in that, like, okay, you didn't really do what you wanted and what he wanted you to do, which was actually give him a chance to contend or take some home run cuts, use this gem of an option with the number 3 pick and get him something, and he didn't do that. It was funny. Like, there was this report about them trying to put together a package for Bama to buy, and they were laughed off the phone. But, like Damon also said they wanted to play with Mikal Bridges. The fact that they didn't even reach out to the Nets to see number 3 for Mikal. Now, it's probably an overpay, I'd give you. I don't know if I would do it as a GM either, but I'm just saying from Dame's perspective, it's one thing to not do it with Bam. He's an all-star. He's been to some fun. Mikal Bridges, really good player. Maybe he hasn't reached his ceiling yet, but is not as established, not as proven as Bam is. And I don't think the Nets, I think we could all agree, probably not as close to contending as Miami. So, yeah, while this isn't a money issue of respect, I do think that this is a standoff, if you will, of, hey, you guys really aren't going to make the last moves for me to contend. It's very similar in some ways to LeBron last year in Cleveland. We're not going to use this top pick to get me something. No, we're gonna hold on to our pick, dude. We're gonna keep our assets line. Okay, probably heading towards a breakup, and that's what this is likely doing. Let me tell you something right now. I don't believe any ESPN report that says they've shut down trade calls. I don't believe any of this nonsense from the GM where he's like, I want him to retire a Blazer. Actions speak louder than words, dude. They do. And, this guy probably had his last press conference of the summer. And so Dame did what Dame should do, which is he's got a very powerful platform. He's very active on social media. And he's essentially doing the D Wade bitch better have my money move, which is, let's Instagram Live and have some Will Smith Miami playing in the background. Probably stirs up the Blazers fan base. The guys who are on his side are on his side. Gets the Heat fans all excited. Maybe makes even if it's a fraction of a percentage, makes the Heat more eager to try and push the envelope to make the deal happen. Who knows? But in the realm of like when I like to play this game, could be something, could be not. This is something, dude. It's not nothing. Maybe it'll end up being like Maybe it won't get it over the goal line, but as far as like, is this a calculated move? But yeah, 100%. Come on. 100%. Definitely. Yar, and I respect it. I respect it, Dame Dollar. I don't look at it as trolling, even though we do that sometimes on the open seas. I look at it as a beautiful whale call. Yar. Yar.